moving into belts, we just talked about holsters. Say you went out and got a really good holster, okay? Well, that holster is only as good as the belt that supports it.
Okay, belts. They're obviously very important. They're primarily designed to hold your pants up. Now, the belts that you would buy
That's important.
in a store that is not specifically catering to the gun community, and understanding that there's going to be a lot of weight placed on that belt via magazines, the weight of the gun, the holster, all that starts to affect the belt.
The belt's going to wear out before the holster. That's for sure. That's
will.
what I find as the biggest
And
problem.
what you'll find is you need a good draw. So you need a really good holster, and then you need something that is going to be formed around you. So for instance, this Galco belt, this has a little bit, and some of them are even more aggressive than this, will have almost like a PVC. This thing, I will be able to pass this on to my children, and it will, by then, after I've worn it for probably 10 years, be worn in perfectly, but it'll still work really well. It's very thick. Obviously, one of the other key factors that you have to look at is belt loops, being able to run it through the pants that you're going to utilize carrying. There are different types of belts like this. You'll wonder why you're spending $80 to $100 on a really good leather belt, and there's a reason, and you'll notice that difference if you do carry weapons for a long time, especially if you shift over to something thinner and do or wear more of a dress belt with a suit. That's when it really pays off.
Yeah, this belt, I mean, this is a really good dress belt. I would wear this out when I'm wearing a suit, going to parties or out on town. But you'll find us wearing these Aries type belts here, because this is made out of, I'm actually real familiar with this. It's old scuba belt material that we used to use on our scuba tanks, and that stuff lasts forever. So it's a great material. It's really rigid, just like that Galco we picked up a second ago. And it'll last. It's Cordura, it's sewn good, it's got functionality, and for some of the running and gunning that we do and constantly being out on the road and doing courses, these belts hold up through thick and thin. So always keep in mind that good belt selection is just as important as that holster.
Yeah, we even run our M4 magazines on this, so I'll run M4 mags on it, I'll run my handgun on it, and it always holds its shape and holds its mold. One of the other belts made by Aries is a rigger style belt. Generally, now this belt isn't made to put a load on, so you're not going to rappel with this thing, but the practicalities for one purpose. I can tell you that most of the riggers belts that are sold out there, when has that person ever really rappelled with that thing? It's generally a very small percentage, but the rigidity in these belts, that's what you need. This one's really thick, this one's inch and a half, vice inch and 3/4. So again, just make different considerations when looking for a belt, and I can tell you generally you will be paying more than $50 to buy a good belt, that's for sure.